Hello, kiddies. It's your old pal, John Kassir, the voice of the Crypt Keeper. And you're listening to The Bottom Shelf.
Channel 2, the EJS channel. So okay.
All right. Hey everybody, checking in at Geek'd Con 2024 in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm here with Edwin from the EJS channel.
Yes.
And we're talking on the floor today. We're talking bad movies. Edwin, what is your favorite bad movie and why?
Oh, favorite bad movie, and I have so many. If I could just pick one, like the first bad movie, I would say it was the sequel to Piranha. It was about flying piranhas. It came out like early 80s. James Cameron's Flying Piranhas movie. It was just gorily bad, but it was fun. It was a good bad. That's the first one that pops up in mind.
Now, did you see the original Piranha prior to that?
Yes.
Was that any better?
It was much better because it made more sense and it was a little bit darker tone, and effects-wise, it was great. It had a more serious, believable tone to it. The direction was a lot better, but not bashing James Cameron's, but he had to work with what we had to work with the sequel. So, yeah.
Not every movie can be Aliens.
Not every movie can be Aliens. That's right.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us, Edwin. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
The Massacre, the original.
You know, I own it. I own the 40th anniversary edition, and I'm the same way. Is it because the majority of the movie is just that woman running around screaming?
Yes, that's exactly why. That's exactly why I don't like it. There's no script behind it other than just they walk into a house and, you know, you're on this person's property. Of course that's what they're going to do in Texas. Come on now.
So basically, what we're seeing here is there's movies that are so bad they're bad, and movies that are so bad that they're good.
Yes. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, is just... I'm sure it was good for its time. You know, there wasn't that much, you know, depth story writing at that moment. But with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation with Matthew McConaughey, he just does such a good job at being a villain. And if you haven't seen it, you got to see it. You're gonna have a hard time trying to find it. They may have it on Amazon or something like that, but it's a great movie. You got to watch it.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for talking with us today, Dustin. We appreciate having on the show.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
How does it compare by comparison?
So, most people don't like it whenever I say I actually dislike Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
You know, I own it. I own the 40th anniversary edition, and I'm the same way. Is it because the majority of the movie is just that woman running around screaming?
Yes, that's exactly why. That's exactly why I don't like it. There's no script behind it other than just they walk into a house and, you know, you're on this person's property. Of course that's what they're going to do in Texas. Come on now. So basically, what we're seeing here is there's movies that are so bad they're bad, and movies that are so bad that they're good. Yes. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, is just... I'm sure it was good for its time. You know, there wasn't that much, you know, depth story writing at that moment. But with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation with Matthew McConaughey, he just does such a good job at being a villain. And if you haven't seen it, you got to see it. You're gonna have a hard time trying to find it. They may have it on Amazon or something like that, but it's a great movie. You got to watch it. Excellent. Well, thanks so much for talking with us today, Dustin. We appreciate having on the show. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, everybody. I'm with Deadpool at the Man-Made Soap booth at Geek'd Con 2024. Hello, Deadpool.
Hello, everyone. How are we all doing?
Deadpool, you're a main fixture here at the Shreveport Geek'd Con pretty much every year. This is my first time really having a conversation with you. What is your favorite terrible movie and why?
Ooh, I'd probably say Highway to Hell from 1992. It's got Chad Lowe and Christy Swanson in it. He has to drive a hot rod through hell to save his girlfriend. There's a lot of comedy in that movie. It's very good. Now, is it intentional comedy? No, not really. It just kind of it's something to behold.
Does the AC/DC song feature in it at all?
Sadly, no. But Lita Ford is in the movie.
That's interesting.
It's a very interesting movie. A lot of little stars sneak up on you in there.
That's curious. So you wouldn't necessarily say that any movie you've been in would be something that would qualify for that list at all?
My entire movie catalog is a trash fire, and I want you all to come and watch it burn.
Is that including X-Men Origins Wolverine?
I'm not allowed to talk about that movie anymore.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show, Deadpool. We appreciate you.
Thank you all. Have fun.
Hello, everybody. I am on the floor at the Geek Devotions booth in Shreveport for the Geek'd Con 2024. I'm here with Sam and Madison, and we're talking bad movies. And now, the two of you, what's your favorite bad movie and why?
The original Mortal Kombat.
By the way, don't let Francois over there hear you say that.
Hey, it's not that it's not a good movie. It just isn't a good movie.
Just, I don't know.
Huh?
Just some like really low budget.
Smokey and the Bandit, I think, is probably, well, it's not a bad movie, really. It's just an older movie. But,
I like Velocipaster. I think it's really funny.
Velocipaster?
Oh. Yeah.
We've actually covered that on the show.
It's a pretty good movie.
So as far as your movie, what the original Mortal Kombat? What about it? Makes it good for you?
Yeah, so I first started playing the games, and then when I saw the movie, I absolutely fell in love with it. I rented it, and I made my mom rent it for me every week for a year and a half when I was like 6 or 7 years old. So.
Super Nintendo or Sega?
It's Super Nintendo.
You're my dude, bro.
Yeah, I can't. This is Mortal Kombat 1 and 2, and as soon as I found out about Liu Kang being able to throw the hat, you know what I'm talking about? That was it. That's all I did. People hated playing me. So I really enjoyed the original Mortal Kombat movie, and I just watched it to death. But it's not, as people would say, a good movie. But it is a great movie, just not a good movie.
So bad it's good. That's a conversation we have a lot of the times.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a so bad it's good movie, I would think. And I think even for its time, it was really great. But the CGI just wasn't there for them at the time in that movie. But at the same time, they did everything they could.
Did you happen to catch the sequel, Annihilation?
Oh yeah, I've seen them all. There's not one that I haven't seen. I still love Mortal Kombat, and I've watched Annihilation a lot. And I thought that the CGI didn't really move forward as much in the second movie either. It's more advanced, but with Chameleon and all the things that were happening there, I thought that was really great. I thought it was ahead of its time at the time, but looking back on it now, it's not the same. It didn't age well. It didn't age well.
Now, in terms of Velocipaster, don't worry, I didn't forget about you, Madison. And now, in terms of Velocipaster, what was it about Velocipaster that made you say, this is my jam?
It's so.
Her love of dinosaurs.
Yeah. And pastors, obviously. It's just, you look at a movie when it has such a small team with such little CGI going on. And it's pretty
much all CGI.
it's so bad that it's really funny to watch because it's such a train wreck. I've watched all sorts of movies like that, but that one definitely stood out. I watched this Jaws when I was younger, this Jaws like ripoff, but I forgot what it was called, but it was basically a pool cleaner machine instead of a shark. And it was clearly shot on some sort of GoPro, just a bunch of like teenagers messing around. It was really funny. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for stopping by the booth today and being on the show.
Thank you. Have a great time. Thank you.
We're going to beat the death with that one.
So I'm here at the Geek Devotion stand right now with the rest of the Geek Devotions team, and we're going to go round table right now just talking about bad movies because it's been a while since we've hung out face to face. So first person on mic is going to be our boy Kevin, original member of the Bottom Shelf. Kevin, what is your favorite terrible movie and why?
I still like Plan 9 from Outer Space. It's my favorite terrible, but I would say Critters 2.
Critters 2, and why is that? Why do you appreciate it so much?
There was really no need to make it, but they still made it, and they still made them all into a meatball to eat people.
And you got your copies of your Critters collection signed by Dee Wallace, didn't you?
Yes, I did, John. Thank you. Yes, I did. I got an autograph. The first movie she's in.
That's pretty slick, man. I'm a little bit jealous. I wish I would have brought my Critters collection for that very purpose, but I forgot
You didn't bring it.
I forgot she was in it, man. I'm sorry.
But there's only so many movies she's done.
All right, next on mic is Branson. Bam, what is your favorite terrible movie and why? Is it Spider-Man 3?
It actually is Spider-Man 3. And the reason is because I understand why it has the mistakes that it had, but people love to hate on the dance number. Guys, you have to understand, Tobey Maguire is living into the nerd, because if a nerd has agility and he decides to give into his dark side, the first thing he's going to do is find the jazz club that his ex-girlfriend is at and do a dance number in front of her. That's just what a nerd would do. I get that it's corny, I get that it's cringy, but that's a nerd giving into his dark side, because nerds don't really understand how to have a dark side. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's why you were dancing out here earlier.
He was doing the little two fingers across the eyes and shaking his hips like John Travolta.
He's going to be joining the break dancing for Olympics next year.
He can't do any worse than Ray Gunn, right? All right.
Dallas is going, darn it.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dallas Mora. What is your favorite terrible movie and why?
I'm gonna go with Mario Bros, which we reviewed a while back.
Shut your filthy mouth. Mario Bros is not that bad.
It is a terrible movie. We all know it is, but I enjoy it. If you took the name Mario off of it, it's a fun, weird, steampunk, alternate universe film. Is it a good Mario film? God,
yes.
No. It's a terrible Mario film. It's trash, but it's fun.
Like I'm kind of with Dallas on this. It would have been a lot. I would have appreciated it more if they didn't try to sell it as a Mario movie. I think if they were to say if they were to call it like Blade Runner Jr.
Yeah.
It would have been a better movie, but because they tried to reinvent the Mario lore, I understand why people would be like, ugh.
It's still fun and good to watch, but as far as Mario, yeah, don't call it Mario. Whatever.
All right. Well, this may be the
Dragon Ball Evolution is not bad if you take Dragon Ball off it. Period. It's not a good martial arts film, but it's not as terrible if you take the word Dragon Ball off of it.
I'll take your word for it. I have seen enough. I've seen enough reviews of that movie to know that you're in the minority on that decision.
Oh, I know I am, but I still stand by it.
All right. Well, we'll see if we can get anybody else on the show. If not, this might be our final sign-off. So we shall see. All right, everybody. I was wrong. I got more people to talk to. I'm on the mic with Mike, who is stopping by the Geek Devotions table at Geek'd Con 2024. He's dressed up as Captain Deadpool. Very slick costume. Question of the day, Mike. What is your favorite terrible movie and why?
Favorite terrible movie? Oh, man, that's a hard question. You cut me on. Oh, give me just a second on that.
No worries. We're typically trying to steer people away from saying The Room, because people typically always say, The Room! What's the other one that people have been throwing out a lot, too? Sharknado's another one they like to throw around, yeah. But, think of a movie that's just so bad it's good, and maybe some people might give you the side eye if you were to say, hey, I dig this movie.
I don't know. I know that recently we went and seen the Civil War. That was really a bad movie.
I'd never heard of that. What's that about?
The Civil War. I got done watching it, and I still didn't know what I watched when I got out of there. I was like, I have no idea what I just watched. I got out of there and was like, what was this about?
Was it at least fun or good on any kind of level?
The previews were real good. It had great previews, I thought. So, no, at the end of the movie, I think it was about journalists, and maybe it was about something else. I don't know.
Very pretentious A24 film.
Yeah. So, another terrible movie that I really like. The Evil Dead.
My man.
Yeah.
Fist bump for that one.
Yeah. The Army of Darkness.
Yeah. Did you see Evil Dead Rise when it came out a couple of years ago?
No, I did.
I would recommend it. It has the spirit of the original, where it's not so over the top campy like they did in number 2.
Right.
They maintain the whole. They try to keep it a horror film, but they have the very over the top Sam Raimi horror effects to go.
Right.
With.
Yeah. And then the main character in the Army of Darkness it wasn't Asher. I know he plays a lot of different parts. I know him as Sam.
Yeah.
Gosh, what was his name?
Bruce Campbell.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, great. I thought he did a great job. It was kind of humorous on that side, but it had that stick to it. But at the same time, you're kind of like, oh, you know what I mean?
For sure.
But yeah, that's great. Yeah, anything else?
No, that's the question. Thanks for being on the show, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm glad to be here.
All right. All right, everybody. I am here with Hunter, Clara, and Jillian. And we're talking terrible movies at the Geek Devotions booth at Geek'd Con 2024. And I'm going to ask all three of you the same question. What is your favorite terrible movie and why?
So my favorite terrible movie is the original Eric Bana Incredible Hulk.
Oh, that movie's trash, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolute trash, but like I was like 5 years old whenever I first saw it. I don't exactly know how old I was, but it was just awesome seeing him transform into this big hulking monster and destroying everything. I felt like, you know, as a terrible little kid myself, like I kind of related to that a little bit, you know. Yeah. And he just wanted to be left alone a lot of the time,
So between the three Incredible Hulks that we've seen within our generation, Eric Bana, Edward Norton, and I can't remember, Mark Ruffalo, thank you. Which one is your favorite Hulk?
My favorite Hulk is the Edward Norton one, but my favorite Bruce Banner is Mark Ruffalo.
Fair enough. Clara, same questions except not about the Hulk.
Mine would have to be the Thumbelina movie. A lot of people have told me it's too quick-paced and doesn't really flow very well, but I love all the theme songs in it. It's just part of my childhood I grew up with, and I love it.
I will tell you this much. You and my wife are in common on that one. She loves the She loves the Thumbelina movie as well, so you're in good company on that. And then Jillian, you've been by the booth a couple times. This is my first time with my recorder. So, what is your favorite terrible movie and why?
Okay, well, the only one I can think of is a movie that my friend says is bad, but I will stand by that it is good. As Above, So Below.
I've seen that.
I love it, and he says that it is absolute garbage, but
I will say the way that it's shot with very light narrative drive on it, and you're not going to end up knowing everything that's going on with what they're doing, I can understand why people wouldn't like it. But honestly, I think them not spoon-feeding you the plot.
And I'm also just fascinated with alchemy and like all of that, like written here is the inscription above the gates of hell. Like, it's so cool, and just the catacombs and like all of that, like history and alchemy and stuff. It's just
right. And those catacombs are a real place in France, by the way.
No, like they're incredible and terrifying in all the best ways.
For sure. Well, hey everybody, thanks so much for appearing on the show. We appreciate having you, and we hope to see you next year.